StoryTime. My crazy neighbors. The first time I met my neighbor, he was standing on his roof, wearing a bathrobe, and holding a rotisserie chicken like it was a microphone. They're listening, he screamed at absolutely nobody. Then he took a bite of the chicken and waved at me. I should have known right then and there that my life was about to go weird. His name was Leonard. His mid 50s, lived alone in the bright blue house at the end of our cul de sac. Every neighbor had a story about him. One claimed Leonard paid kids $20 to scream at squirrels. Another swore he once called the fire department because the moon looked too close. But the strangest thing, every Friday at exactly 7:07, people would show up at his house carrying random objects. A blender, a mannequin leg, a toaster oven. One guy even brought up canoe. They'd go inside. 3 hours later, they'd leave empty handed. Nobody knew why. Eventually, my curiosity won, and one Friday I walked over and knocked. Leonard opened the door slowly and looked at me dead in his eyes. He whispered, "You're late." Before I could answer, he pulled up inside, and the entire house was chaos. About 30 people sat in a circle wearing bicycle helmets. In the middle of the room was a little kiddie pool filled with spaghetti. A woman in pajamas was taking notes on a whiteboard that said Operation Neighbor Redemption. I genuinely considered faking a heart attack just to escape. Then Leonard handed me a flashlight and said, "Tonight, we expose Gary." The room went silent. Everyone turned toward the window, toward my house. Then Leonard whispered, "Your other neighbor." Now Gary seemed normal. Too normal. Perfect lawn, perfect smile, always grilling burgers. The kind of guy who says things like living the dream while definitely hiding bodies somewhere. Apparently, Leonard believed Gary was running a secret underground business from his garage. I laughed until Leonard showed me the photos. Every night around 2 a.m., different cars pulled up into Gary's driveway for exactly 4 minutes. Nobody ever came through the front door, and every visitor left carrying a red cooler. Okay, weird, but still not a criminal. Then Leonard showed me a drone footage of Gary's garage wall. It wasn't a garage anymore. It was lined wall to wall with refrigerators, dozens of them. Then that's when the group lost their minds. One woman screamed, "He's harvesting organs!" Another yelled, "I knew it." Leonard pointed at me dramatically. "You live closest to him, so you should infiltrate him." I wish I could say I refused. Instead, at 1:53 a.m., I found myself crouched behind Gary's hedges wearing a bicycle helmet and holding a walkie-talkie taped together because Leonard called it an advanced surveillance kit. At 2:01, a black SUV pulled up. Gary opened the garage. I almost screamed. The refrigerators were real, all 40 of them. The visitor grabbed the red cooler and handed it to Gary. Cash. Then he drove off. Drug operation. It had to be. I started recording on my phone when suddenly, "What you doing?" I nearly died. Gary was standing right behind me holding a plate of ribs. Turns out Leonard's insane conspiracy ring had accidentally uncovered something real. Not drugs, not organs, illegal exotic fish. Gary had been secretly breeding ultra rare aquarium fish worth thousands each and selling them under the table to collectors across the state. The refrigerators controlled over water temperatures and the coolers transported the fish. And Leonard? He live streamed the entire confrontation by accident. By morning, millions of people had watched the scream fall into Gary's bushes and yell, "The fish have a system." The clip became a meme. Gary got fined. Leonard sold "Fish Have a System" t-shirts, and somehow every Friday at 7:07 I still ended up in that weird spaghetti meeting.